All right, guys, here is Hustle Hub again. Today, we're here with Rika from The Helpful Entrepreneur. I'm Mickey with Giacomo and Sean, and we're the guys behind The Hustle Hub. So, Rick, how you doing? You're doing pretty good?
Good.
All right.
Doing amazing. Thanks for asking. Thanks for having me on your show, guys. Really do appreciate this. Really looking forward to it. Been looking forward to the last
Yeah,
few days. So this is awesome.
yeah. Your
Okay.
your show is awesome as well.
Thanks. And likewise with you
Yes.
guys. Are just saying how great your videos
So if you
are
watch our videos, make sure to watch Rick's videos because he deserves it.
Yes, definitely. Most
Thanks, guys.
definitely.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
I
So
want to ask you actually, uh, your journey as an entrepreneur started. What makes you started?
I started when I was 17 years old. And the reason why I started was because I had heard that people were working and only getting 2 weeks of vacation a year. And I thought, you know what, 2 weeks of vacation a year, that's nothing. I want to start my own business so that I could have more free time. But what ended up happening is that I was I was lucky to get 2 weeks free vacation for the first 10 years of me being an entrepreneur is what ended up happening. So that was one of the reasons why I started. I always went after, it wasn't the money, I always went after the freedom. That was the main reason. So I started, my first business that I started was a landscaping company. So at that time I was 17, I had a truck and I went and got a lawnmower and a trimmer, and I literally drove around to the nicest neighborhood that I could find in our area and started knocking on those doors and started building up a clientele list from that. And it just grew and grew. And every season it just grew and grew and grew. So I was going to school in the wintertime and then doing my landscaping business in the spring, summer, and the fall. And then it kept on growing.
Keep
Yeah.
going. Okay, okay.
So
Uh,
I wanted to ask you, what
Yep.
was your, let's say, biggest surprise since you are on YouTube or lately? Something that's made you happy or surprised about your channel?
The amount of people that actually watch my videos. To be honest, that to me is a surprise because I don't think what I do is all that exciting. And I've gone back to look at some of my earlier videos and thought, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. And there's people watching it, and I'm that is surprising to me that people take an interest in entrepreneurship and that reach out to me and make their positive comments underneath some of the videos. That to me is incredible. It really is, and
Yeah.
it's to this day it's still surprising. I'm like, wow, I got 5 people watching this video right now. This is really cool, right?
Yeah, it's
So
nice to connect with people on YouTube.
yeah, that was my intention of setting up YouTube, was to connect with other entrepreneurs, other good people, just get out there and meet other people outside of, like, obviously what we are just doing back in the day of, like, you'd see people that you meet through other people. Hey, you should meet this person. He's an entrepreneur or she's an entrepreneur. And this is just an incredible way. Like, YouTube's amazing. It's incredible as to how well and easy it is to actually meet and reach out to people and make that connection and, grow a friendship even with them
Yeah.
as well. But to help out, like, the idea is to help out, give back. Another original idea of me doing the YouTube channel was to document everything for my kids. I had twin-year-old boys, 10-year-old twin boys, and it's just to document my journey, continuing on as an entrepreneur and what I've done in the past. So one day they can look back and go, hey, this is how I got to this point. So
That's very cool. Very
fun,
cool.
it's fun.
who's
That
asking me?
Wait,
yeah,
wait, una
you
testa.
go.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
All entrepreneurship, all successful entrepreneurship stories are fascinating, but there are always times when it's hard, to continue, when it's hard to proceed with your project. When was yours? How was it like? How did you deal with it? Can you tell us?
Really good question. Every entrepreneur goes through the ups and downs all the time. It's constant. And I always say that being an entrepreneur is extremely difficult because it doesn't come with a manual. There's nothing that you can read in order to tell you how to be an entrepreneur. You just have to go out there, experience, learn from it, and move on. So, I mean, everybody's had their failures. I mean, I've had, ones that I bounced back from pretty fast and just said, just that's the way it is. I've had a major blow. I had a company back in the day called EcoRes that was a pretty big corporation that I had to close down. And yeah, that hit me hard, to be honest, for a few months. And I got,
which sector was it?
It was office supplies. That was a company that I
Okay.
had started back when I was early 30s, and it was office supply, printer consumables to be exact, and office
Okay.
supplies we expanded into and whatnot. So over the time, make a long story short, I had to close it down. It was the best thing for the business to do at that time, and not to pursue it any further. And it was tough. I mean, but I remember thinking, man, I just got to bounce back from this. I have to diversify more into even more businesses at that time, because it's a business for an entrepreneur is like a baby, and you're nurturing it and you see it grow and it grows, right? And it's part of you. It gets to the point where, you go in and you see all these great people and you got this great business and it's helped so many people's lives, and it's grown to a level that you're extremely well comfortable with. And I mean, I could go into a lengthy discussion on that, but I'm actually thinking about doing a video for that in the near future, to be honest. But you just have to learn to bounce back fast, get back up on your feet, learn from it. Don't go back out and continue making the same mistakes. That's huge. Go and sit down, take a while, absorb, and it hurts at times to go back and look back on what happened, why did it happen, make sure it won't ever happen to you ever again, and to move on from that. And you know what? And at that time as well, I didn't know a lot of other entrepreneurs. I knew a small handful, but now it would be like, and that's what I'm trying to do with my channel too, is like, if you ever go through this and you need support from an entrepreneur, I think I've pretty much experienced quite a bit for being an entrepreneur. Like, reach out to me, get in contact with me. By all means, say, hey, Rick, have you ever gone through this? And how did you bounce back? Like, what did you do? Because, there's nothing better than having support there when you're down, right? And like, am I on the right track? Is this what I, should be doing? What would you recommend? Have you ever been in a situation? What did you do? All that sort of stuff, right? And create a small team, a support unit of a team, and to help each other grow that way would be huge. It is huge. So.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, what did you learn from yourself from these situations? And I would say, did you get something technical way to determine whether you're doing a good job or not?
Good question. I learned that I'm pretty resilient. I keep going. I'm consistent. I'm self-motivated. And what I found out, I mean, I could be kicked down, but I'll get back up the next day now, and no problem whatsoever. And that is, if you can get that drive in you, I have an abundance of drive, and I love it. I really, really do love having this. It's goals. I want to achieve goals, and I keep them small.
You got purpose, right?
Sorry?
You got purpose.
Absolutely.
Like purpose
Absolutely.
to move on, and
Absolutely,
you keep going. And you don't need like people to motivate you, because you're really fueling yourself every single time, every single day, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do not need to go to a Tony Robbins conference or anybody else for that matter. A Gary V, I don't need that. I've got that myself, right? Yeah. So I just get up and I go. So I learned that. It was a big thing from me. The second part of your question, technically, what did I learn from that? Again, it's just like learn how to be, just get back, learn from your mistakes, get back up again and go, basically.
Okay. And I'll one last thing I wanted to say, maybe then Mickey, you're going to do the other questions. What is your educational background? I mean, did you have accounting knowledge, something technical that is necessary to run a business?
Nope.
Did you learn it all yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Funny that you say that, because when I was, when I was just starting out my landscaping company, it started growing and growing. Like I said earlier, it was growing and growing and growing. It got to the point where my clients were asking me more than just to cut the grass and trim the trees and, do some basic gardening and whatnot. They're asking for me to do some interlock jobs and fountains and, get more design outside of the maintenance, do some more design and construction. So at that time, I went off to university and went into landscape architecture. So I went off to university, got my degree in that, and then I was able to, obviously expand my business from that, and I've made it year round as opposed to just seasonal. I got into snow plowing as well, and just kept growing, growing the company. But I never took any business courses. I never took any accounting courses, nothing like that whatsoever. And I'm a firm believer, absolutely take those courses, but
Yeah.
the way I find it in school, like that's all, most of that is kind of like theory, right? It's more like when you get out and you're actually doing it yourself, hands-on, as long as you've got the ability to learn and retain and learn from your mistakes, you will grow. And there's nothing better than like the hands-on experience of how to do something. There really isn't. Managing people, like anything and everything to do with entrepreneurship, you can learn yourself. That's why I believe like more people can be entrepreneurs if they took that risk and made that first leap, that entrepreneur leap, and got themselves going. Holy mackerel! More people can be their own business owners and be self-sufficient by themselves than they realize. They really can be.
Yeah, right about being an entrepreneur and these topics. Do you think that the U.S. society actually help people become and help small business grow and individuality like to be successful by their own and running their own businesses, or maybe like during school time, college? What do you think about that?
That's a good question because entrepreneurship being taught in school at times, I was lucky. The school that I went to was actually taught by entrepreneurs that own their own businesses. Some of our profs were actual business owners, which is great to see because they got the hands-on experience. But there are some that were just basically reading from a book. And so they're just doing their own research and then they're basically trying to teach you how to be an entrepreneur from what they've read. Where I was thinking, well, I could just read that book myself. I could read that textbook myself, or if they don't actually have the hands-on experience. Again, that's why I think that YouTube has got some of the best and greatest teachers out there. It really does as a platform. You can go and learn how to be an entrepreneur by going out. I mean, I find that there's people that are on this journey, so you can follow them on a journey as they were becoming entrepreneurs, or you can follow somebody that's already gone through everything and then learn from them as well, right?
Yeah,
So
like finding a mentor that actually help you grow
yeah,
like
absolutely.
faster.
Highly recommend,
And
highly, exactly, Becky. It's so true. It's so, I mean, again, like going into entrepreneurship, if you're serious about it, create a team, find a mentor, find an accountant, find anybody that can help you grow your businesses, right? But you got to go in with a team. You can't go in solo. It's really, really, really difficult. But find people that are, I call them real entrepreneurs, they're proven models. They're people that have actually done this before. They're the best people to follow because they've got the hands-on experience. They're not just going through that journey. Follow people that are going through a journey because then they're on your same level too, right? As you're growing, you can work together and bounce ideas off of one another. But definitely get your mentors, definitely get your people behind you that can help you grow.
So
So
talking
definitely,
about
definitely helpful.
talking about this, um, for you, who's been a role model for you, or maybe on YouTube, which channel does inspire you the most, or who do you look up to?
well, I'm 55 now, so my YouTube channel is all about helping others and helping other people grow, basically, right? So, but when I was younger, my dad was he was a driven guy. He was a millwright, so he was more hands-on type of a job person, and he had drive, and he was excellent, extremely good at what he did. But I also, so if you guys ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, I know by Robert Kiyosaki, highly recommend it. Really good book. So I had a friend of mine whose father was more on the technical side. He was more of a business owner. So I learned a lot from him. I was cutting their grass at the time. So every time I would have to once a month go to his place to, collect from him, he would sit me down and we would talk for about at least an hour to 2 hours. And he would, teach me about being an entrepreneur, how to manage your books, your expenses, what to watch out for as your company's growing. He taught me a lot. And then I had a friend of mine as well that was starting a company. It was called Remax Real Estate. And he had just got the rights and he brought it to Canada with a couple of his partners. So I was also landscaping his place. And again, I learned a lot from him as well. And he's still the president of half of Canada for Remax and Remax Europe as well. So he is he was a big, it was basically those two guys that really influenced me a lot and gave me a lot of advice. right? And again, it's like you can throw the advice out there. I'm a firm believer, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can throw the advice out there, but if somebody's actually going to retain it and actually use it, that's where I earn that person will earn the respect from me. Is like they're actually going with it. I love it. So again, with anybody out there watching this, if you want to be a real entrepreneur, grab some advice and just go with it. Don't sit on it. Don't wait. Just go. Just start building and growing.
Okay, I wanted to ask you,
Yep.
if you had to go back and start from the bottom, which technical knowledge would you like to have that you didn't have at that time?
More about social media.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, what a way to get yourself out there, your business name out there, to market yourself. I mean, my first couple of businesses, I literally was knocking on doors, like I said earlier. And if the person wasn't home, I'd drop off flyers. I mean, it's so old school and archaic to look back on it now, but it would still probably work for some small businesses. Absolutely, it would. But if I could learn more about social media and expand, future businesses or my future business ideas that way, definitely would be something that's where I would say I'm kind of lacking right now that I can improve upon. You can always improve, right? So I mean, if anything, that would be my main area right there, just to help market any future businesses.
All right, can I ask you two questions right now? The
You
first
can ask me
one.
22 questions if you want, Mickey. That's fine.
All right, I mean we're here for that. So, first of all, how old are you? And
55.
the second one, 55.
Yes, sir.
And how many businesses did you run, or have you owned it, and have you grown during this time? How much experience you have?
Up to this point, I've been associated with 22 companies. That's funny you say that. I was looking at that the other day thinking, how many have actually been involved in? So these aren't ones that I've really invested in. These are ones that I've pretty much been kind of like hands-on involved in. So
Yeah, like you build up from zero to right now, right?
either by myself or with other entrepreneurs. Yeah. I mean, there's different segments along the way, right? I was asked I got pulled in when it was already just about to launch, say. They went through a soft launch and they pulled me in, or it's like right at the very beginning with an idea. So yeah, and that's all actually great experience to have for any entrepreneur as well. It's like to be coming into a business model at different stages with different people. It could be one other person, it could be 5 other people. It doesn't, it can vary, right? So always good to get as much experience as you can in businesses.
Okay, and also like your business, in what niche you actually like look for? There was like some one niche that you actually go through it, or you like to diversify in different niches, different sector, like businesses that actually don't relate to each other, or like are I don't know, like complementary, or like the same stuff, like sports, selling like t-shirts and sneakers, and then like cutting grass and whatever,
Yeah.
like they actually like have no correlation to each other, or you like have business that actually like meets each other a little bit.
Yeah, Mickey, that's a great question. There hasn't really been any connection. I mean, with EcoRes failing, and then I started up Environmental Toner Brokers, ETB. Obviously, that was in the same industry, but again, it was different. It was a different model. It was a different structured business, but in the same industry. But there's a lot of them that, no, you're right. There haven't been many that there's been like a segue into a different type of business, for example. It's just what's happened, really. There's been landscaping. I mean, I was even a part of a women's makeup business for a while, right? And then there was a company I was involved in that was industrial cleaning for companies. And there's just, I mean, when you hang around people that are doing things, opportunities arise, right?
Yeah.
So I always suggest that if you're really looking to get into being a real entrepreneur, hang out with other people that are doing things and that are other entrepreneurs, because you'd be surprised. Like, they'll bounce ideas off of you, and it'll come from anywhere, right? So there's no real connection of my businesses that way. I mean, I'm also involved in real estate, that I own long-term rentals with a business partner in Mexico and in the US that had nothing to do with anything else at all, right? So,
Basically,
sorry.
see an opportunity and you just go. You see an
Yeah,
opportunity and you just go because you
yeah,
like it, and I say
absolutely.
I
If you
go for
feel
it.
that the
You
team's
take
right,
what you
yep.
go.
If you
All right, all right.
feel that team is right, if you feel that the business is right, yeah, absolutely, just go for it. If you feel that that's what you want to do, if you got, and remember, it's not just about the money; it's about the time that how much time do you need to dedicate to that as well, right? So freedom, you don't want to get bogged down into a new business. Like I'm not taking on any new businesses right now. I feel like I got enough on the plate that if I was to take on any more, it would just infringe upon my quality of life. And so I just try and stay away from any new ideas happening right now. But I mean, my send a big smile project right now. I
Yes,
haven't
definitely.
had a chance to even really launch that, to be honest, yet. I'm just having some fun with it, but it's kind of still a little bit on the back burner. I got to bring it in the forefront in the new year. But you'd be surprised when you start coming up with these business ideas or you get approached by other entrepreneurs. It's kind of like you just don't want to go too much too fast, right? Then you run out of time. You just there's only 24 hours in a day, so how much can you dedicate to each one,
Yeah, definitely.
right? So be careful of that. Be aware of that. Time is our greatest asset, and it's so true.
Yeah, self-discipline is the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
One
go ahead.
question that I wanted to ask you is if you have if you had to start a new business today, which one would be easier to start? For example, if you want to launch on an aerospace company, you probably need a couple $1 billion and some extraordinary knowledge in physics and all that stuff. Which business would you start with little money, not great experience right now?
Good question. I would start a business. I wouldn't know exactly specifically, but I would. So I did this in one of my videos. It's called Crawl, Walk, and Run. Okay.
Okay.
So first you crawl, then you walk, and then you run. So if anybody's watching this, go back and watch that one video of mine.
Okay, we'll put it in the link, by the way,
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
yeah,
the
by all
description.
means,
I
for
just put
sure.
the plug in the video.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So hey, it's over here. No. I love when YouTubers do that. It's always like it blows me away. Hey, and check out this video right here. It's like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I would strongly like. I'm at the point now where I enjoy my time, so I would do something that's not so stressful, nothing that you have to reach out to investors for. So it'd be all my own money. Say I'd start small, really enjoy the journey, and grow it slowly. So it's all within control. There's no stress in regards to building it whatsoever. So I would do something really simple and really, something that you could help out somebody. Say, I mean, start off extremely small and look into a neighborhood and how can you help people in your neighborhood. Come up with some idea that way and literally get some Vistaprint flyers done up, go knock on some doors and they're not home, drop out the flyer. I would go back to basics like that for myself because I just find that human interaction, that one-on-one, where you can actually speak to your client face to face, listen to, let's come up with an idea right now. You come up with, say, they need some work done around their house or whatever the case may be. I mean, you're a student right now, you're looking for extra money once COVID is finished, say. You could just go and knock on doors and just say what their needs are. How can I help you?
Mhm.
Right. And then just put together a business plan that way and then just expand it into, further into your neighborhood. But having that face-to-face interaction with people does go a long way. We call it with one of my businesses, it's called relationship builders. So all my staff are all relationship builders. And that's what it's about. They're not sales reps. They're not sales account. They're not sales reps. Sorry, they're not account reps. Nothing. They're relationship builders. That is so key, and it's something kind of lacking. I feel that we have nowadays when it does come to building businesses, especially online, is that you don't have that human interaction as much anymore as what it used to be. Right. So again, I would start off a business small, something you really enjoy doing, and that fills a need for somebody and helps them out. So when you show up, they're like, "Hey, so and so is here. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for whatever purpose, whatever your service is." That's what I would do. I would go more service based as opposed to product based, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking, I always think about um, professionals like, I don't know, dentists, that nobody wants to see them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you have to, right?
Yeah,
Obviously.
you have to, but you're not happy about it. What the, what the,
Where am I?
what the hell is happening?
Sean, nice screen. Did you put me on the screen? This is pretty funny.
No,
like,
I didn't do
sitting in the
anything.
porch up at the cottage.
I think it's my bad. That's my fault. I don't know what I thought. So.
We're in
That
the
is
middle of
good.
the
That is
forest.
good. Whoever
I
did
mean,
that.
we're in the middle of the nature, so we can't go out. So I mean, like,
Yeah, hey, I hear
just a
I hear it.
little bit of freedom.
We're at the cottage. You know, this is great. This is a great feeling for me. That's good. Oh, all right, guys, this is fun. Let's carry on.
So I wanted to ask, let's say if you had a bigger budget, how would you use the extra funds for? Because I got the chance to see your videos in these days, very very good,
Thank
and
you.
I see you do a lot of charity here and there.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you had a bigger, let's say, extra funds, how would you use them and why?
If I had more revenue, more funds, where would I allocate that? That's a good question. You know, I'd probably donate more. We do one of our clients is one of the biggest hotels in Toronto, and they host a golf tournament every September for a day, and it's incredible. It's a lot of fun. It's a great day out, and we sponsor one of the holes there, and it's for Sick Kids Hospital, and that's a big hospital. It's worldwide known here in Toronto. So I would probably do a much larger donation for that, to be honest, right? So that would probably charity wise, I would probably do that. And then you know what? Also, I would do another plug, another shout out. I would do bigger prizes with a send a big smile.
Okay.
So yeah, talk
Okay.
about this.
For like $5,000, go and find this rock hidden in somewhere in Italy that I would get one of you guys to hide it for us, right? And then go and find it, or 5,000 euros, whatever.
Okay. We'll think about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anytime anybody wants to hide a money rock out there, let us know. Let me know for sure.
Sorry, I was giggling during your answer. It's just this
Yeah, definitely.
is
That setup
distracting me.
that just came out. I don't know what was that like. I don't know.
Hey,
I'm
I
trying
don't mind
to
it.
You don't
deactivate
mind
it.
being in the nature.
I'm sitting at a table in nature with you guys. What's going on?
Okay.
Mickey's at the controls. Don't let him.
So is this back? Is this back to normal? Are you all normal now?
No, I've still got the outdoor scene happening. This is pretty fun.
Oh, I'm normal now.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
Is this normal?
No, not to me. But keep going, guys. Don't worry.
I literally have no
like,
idea
okay, we'll get rid of
what
that
I
later.
touched or what was going through, but I mean, it was fun.
It's fine. Love it. Next question.
Yeah, so I have a question. Like, what was like one thing that you regret from when you were younger, and you actually would like to change from your experience, uh, maybe like in your career or your personal life, or something that you actually, like regret so much. Like, like I hope this didn't actually happen, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm a pretty optimistic guy, so I would think at the time I would say, wish that didn't happen. I wish I didn't go down that road or make that decision, that choice. But from every all sets of ashes comes a phoenix, right? So I mean, I could look back and go, but I learned this huge lesson from it, right? So I mean, without getting into details, guys, I can tell you, I can look back and go, wow, I really wish I didn't hire that person who kind of sabotaged our company, right? I could say that, or I could say, gee, I really wish I didn't work with those other, two or three other people in that business who during their pitch was as a partnership, for their partnership presentation to me was, I thought they had more experience than how they really did. And it kind of failed because of their lack of experience, and they didn't allow me to work on it closer with them, say. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of, there's, again, entrepreneurship is not easy. It's really, really difficult. It's really tough. And for you to look back and go, look at all these mistakes that I made or decisions that I made that at the time I didn't know were going to turn out bad, but did. then, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm here now. I'm doing extremely well, and it's just these are all lessons, right? So
Yeah.
the monetary amount, I think it's like a university. So that's the university amount that I paid to go there and be at university, say for one, everything I learned in one semester is what I paid for, and I learned more than I would have learned at university, say, right? So you can always learn from everything. There's tons of times that I've looked back on and go, gee, I wish I really didn't make that decision. But there's a ton more that I can look back and go, I'm really glad I did make that. I made those decisions, right? So you got this on one side, you got this on the other side,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, at the end of the day, even from your mistake, you keep learning from it.
Yeah,
There's no like such a I lose something. No, I learned something. It's all about your mentality, what you have in your mind, how you
exactly,
actually take yourself. You know, like
absolutely.
there's this saying, I don't like 10% is what happened to you, and 90% is how you react to it, something like that. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like that. I think it's like that. I mean, and
so
I
true.
think you're the proof for that. I mean,
Yep.
I mean, we really look out for you because I mean, you're
Thanks,
fucking successful, man. Like, like what?
thanks, but it's successful in the way of like time. Like I say, I have one of these posters behind me, and the one I've got behind here, it says, you know, hustle and grind every day and make every day Saturday, right? But that's my goal. My goal is to have the freedom where I wake up and I feel like every day is Saturday. I love that. Whereas other people's goals might be to own a Lamborghini, to have a private jet, like to have an island somewhere, right? So everybody's goals of being successful is different. Whatever yours is, just go for it and make it happen. That's all you can really do, right? Get to that point where you know you can make this what your dream a reality is what it's all about. That's basically it. So another point I want to make before I forget about this one is one of the things that I always look for in a business before I even start it is how fast can I get out of it? Meaning I don't want to be in, I don't mind being in the design stage. I don't mind being in the promoting stage. But when it comes to the maintenance stage, I'd rather have other people do that. So I don't want to be working in my business. I want to be working on my business at my discretion as well, right? So if you guys are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, that's something at first, I mean, it's going to be tough because you need to learn how to be an entrepreneur and you want to get involved in your business to see how it runs on an everyday, daily basis. But when you have taken on a few businesses or you've been involved as a partner in a few other ones, you want to get to the point, well, this is for me at least, how fast can I get myself out of the business? Okay, so I'd say like in the first few months, I'm out. I've got other people running it for us or for me if I'm part of a team. And then I can pursue other business ideas, or I can just sit back and relax and do with whatever I want with my time. So that's really key. I find that that's really, really important that a lot of people don't really aim for. They're always most often looking for that big money pot and whatnot. Whereas like, look, maybe time is either time or money. Look, focus on time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, time is the only thing that you cannot buy in this life. I think.
Exactly. You can't get it back, right?
Yeah, definitely.
As we saw, Dr. J understood that with his Ferrari story.
Yeah. See, there you
Yeah.
go. You know what? He was. I mean, I want to. I got to hang out with more with him as well because his mentality is very similar to mine. Like, what did he say? He only does like 1 or 2 days a week. He actually sees. He's an optometrist to see his patients. That's incredible. Good for him, right?
Mhm.
Right? And like, think about it. He's a minimalist. He had a Ferrari, he had a mansion, and now he lives in a small. And it's true. Like that is true, right? I mean, we've got so much in our lives right now, and it's like my wife and I often say, it's like we don't need anything else. Like, forget, we don't want it, because now with more stuff comes more maintenance and more dedicated time to keep it up and running and to nurture it or whatever the case may be. You don't want that, trust me. At first you do kind of when you're younger, but when you get a little bit older, you're like, why? it's,
Yeah.
it's
Shout
crazy.
out to Mr. J.
Yeah, absolutely. The
Yeah.
mindset.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Cool
I
guy.
still think that if he had his Ferrari over here with the tracks, race tracks that we have over here, it would be
I've
different.
heard. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard.
or in Montreal with the Formula One track. That one is a
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The
yeah.
F1 in Montreal. Yeah, F1 when it's in Montreal is just crazy. You know, that's a weekend party and whatnot. It's a lot of fun. Way
Can
So
back.
just for curiosity, where are you from?
Toronto.
You're born in Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just live outside of Toronto now in Oakville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can you imagine here in Monza? Here is the country of Ferrari. There are hundreds of thousands of fans that are cheering up, and it's crazy.
Yeah. I've heard one of my business partners is Italian, and he would go back to Italy 2 or 3 times a year, and he'd come back home telling me stories of like how great your country is and how fun it is and the beautiful cars and wine and everything. Just like the food. I'm like, oh, come on.
Okay. Okay. By the way, when
You guys live in a great country.
yeah,
Appreciate
When are you coming here?
Yeah, soon, maybe. Well, as soon as COVID's lifted. Soon.
bureaucracy wise, not that great, but on the other side, yeah, it's okay. And
I mean, boy, we are great.
You guys
yeah,
have found a great,
Modest.
what I understand. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
All around, many areas, beautiful.
yeah. I wanted to ask you, you have interest in real estate. So you bought real estate in the US, in Mexico. Do you have also investment real estate in Canada?
A little bit, but nothing as big. I find the initial investment, the amount that you need to invest initially with the capital is extremely high in Canada, especially in our immediate area. Downtown Toronto, for what you buy for like $1 million is a very, very small house. Whereas $1 million down in, say, Tampa, Florida, or Phoenix, Arizona can get you some nice places. Right.
Okay.
So those are the two main cities that we have invested in down there, and then also Puerto Vallarta in Mexico.
Okay.
But up here, not a lot. No.
Okay. Is the return on investment better in the US and Mexico?
It is for us in the U.S. Absolutely, because we got it just we started picking up our places in 2009. So it was right after the crash. So we were picking them up, and our dollar was at par as well to the American dollar. So it was like a perfect storm in a positive way for us to pick up units. So we have gated communities that it's all the same business model. They're all in the same areas in both cities. So we know them both extremely well. But yeah, the ROI is better in the U.S. for us.
Okay. Okay. And one other thing that I wanted to ask you about real estate investing is that not me personally, but I heard of people that had to deal with agents that were incompetent. And how do you deal with that? Do you have a method to select people to run your real estate, or do you just pick them and then you may change along the way? What is
Correct.
that like?
Correct. You may change along the way. Go with your gut feeling, screen them, interview them, have them go through a full process before. So we have property managers in both Tampa and also in Phoenix and in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Right.
Okay.
So we've gone through 5 different property managers in Phoenix and 2 in Tampa and 2 in Puerto Vallarta as well. So yeah, I mean, at first people, they'll pitch their services to you. They want your business, right? And you can do as much as you can. You can look at their credentials. You can talk to other people that are using them as a property manager. You can look at their profile if it's online. You can do whatever you can, but until a person proves themselves to you, you just got to be, you got to be in ninja mode to make sure that your place is where you want them run.
Okay. How do you choose? I would say, would you rather make a choice after speaking with them, or I don't know, browsing their LinkedIn profiles? What is it like?
Got to speak to them. Got to speak to them always. At least a face-to-face, at least online. All of our, actually, let me think about it. All of our property managers, we've met face-to-face when we've been in that city. Right? We actually sat down, had a coffee with them, talked about what our needs are, made sure that they could fulfill them. We actually had a little checklist put together for one of them and made sure like they were able to cover everything that we wanted and needed them to do for our properties. And then you make the decision from there. And you just hope that they're going to be, but it works. And that's just business. You don't know at first, right? And it's sometimes You know, it takes a while before you get to know who they are. Most, you know, they'll work. Some of them will work out extremely well, and some of them just won't. It just depends if it's a good fit for both parties. You just want to create a win-win situation, right? You want both parties to be happy.
Yeah.
Right.
What are the fees like for running properties?
Usually it's around 10%. 10%.
10%.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which is so worth it. I could not imagine jumping on a plane to fix a toilet. It won't happen, right?
Yeah.
So for 10%, we're hands off. And again, it's like what I said earlier. How soon can I be pulled away from a business? I do not want to be managing our properties. There's no way. I just don't know it that well, to be honest. I'm a very handy guy, but to know all the legal side of things, how to market your property when it's empty, say your units when it's empty, to get people in there, to evict them if you need to, that is all left to our property managers, right?
Okay.
So it just makes it, again, 10% is nothing. It's a deal. So if they're watching this interview right now, thank you guys. You know who you are. Thank you. keep up the great works, because you're so worth it for 10%.
Is it a lot more expensive to run on Airbnb, or is it the same to run medium term rentals or Airbnb day-to-day in and out?
So we have got long-term rentals in Phoenix and Tampa that we have where property managers look for tenants for us anytime we have a vacancy. But then we use Airbnb, but also property manager in Puerto Vallarta, but for our condo down there, but it's short-term. It's a short-term visit. Like most people stay there for, you know, minimum 2 weeks to try to get. Sometimes they'll stay up for 2 months at times. But then we also use Airbnb up here in Canada for one of our cottages. And we started doing that last summer, and we Airbnb that out for the summer months. And you know, Airbnb is great. I love it because it markets your place for you. All you got to do is put the place up. Then it does the promoting for you, and it is, you know, a bit of a quasi type maintenance on it for you as well. At the end of it, when they check out, everybody rates each other. It's a great platform to use. It really is. It's incredible. It really is. So it just makes renting out our cottage so much easier, and also renting out our condo so much easier for the short-term rentals like those ones.
Okay, Rick. Like,
yeah, Mickey.
To change a little bit of the topic.
Absolutely.
So you started like being an entrepreneur like full time around what age? Like 20, 19?
17.
17 full time.
Full time. I've never had a career. I've had jobs, but I've never had a career.
So you never go to college, anything. You just finish high school and then straight and being an entrepreneur, being your own boss, right?
No, I went to university after high school. I did go to university, but and I was offered jobs too, like careers, jobs that would turn into careers. I never accepted them. I just kept pursuing my business ideas. Because again, Mickey, it was like going back to like what I said earlier about those 2 weeks. I wanted more than 2 weeks.
Yes,
but at that time, I was like 20, 21, whatever it was, really getting my business now starting. It would have been heaven, to be honest, to have.
Ricky, you just froze. So
okay. Sorry.
I don't know what
like
you
this?
just said. So, yeah, you'd be like.
I saw myself down the corner, like, oh, geez, here we go. So, no, anyways, getting back to, I've never had a career. I've only ever had a job. Sorry, I've only had jobs, and it was all based upon because of time, right? So that's why I did my business, was to allow myself more free time in the future.
Okay, so basically, you started being an entrepreneur. It was like in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And do you feel like right now, like nowadays, doing the same things, or like, you know, like a little with the new ways, the like online stuff and that stuff? Could you consider like you can be more successful right now with the new terms, with the online and all that kind of stuff, or it would be like the same hard or even harder?
Great question. It's probably equally as hard, because I think it's just a different beast, right? Like, it's tough starting up a business back in the day of the way I start up businesses, right? But now I think that even starting out online, but if you know the magic formulas online, I mean, it's all systems. Like, that's what entrepreneurs do. They figure out systems, And once they figure out the system, then they run with it and they just go.
Yeah,
So
then they just replicate
yeah,
what is
yeah, just
already working. Yeah.
exactly. You just book it, you just get away you go. So same thing with online. I mean, if you can figure out the systems online, go with it. Absolutely. So it's a different breed of entrepreneurs that we're now seeing. Are they entrepreneurs? Absolutely. You know, it's just a different type of entrepreneur now. Would I be more successful? I don't know. You know, honestly, I don't know. It'd be really cool to team up with somebody that knows, you know, social media inside and out, and to put the business to, you know, plan together with that person and to run with that. That'd be really, really fun. But it's entrepreneurship altogether is tough. And it's not just the way you get your systems put together and market yourself and get out there. It's also the mental strain that you put on yourself and the push, you know, like we were saying earlier, like self-motivation. Like, do you actually really have, I believe everybody's got a bit of entrepreneurship in them at different levels. So it's just how much do you want to push yourself, right? I think that's the challenge. But would I be more successful? I would say absolutely, under the right circumstances. And I've just got so much going on right now that's not even involved with online that
Yeah.
it's almost like, you know, I would still like to challenge that myself with that. But right now I just got so many other things going on and I don't want to infringe upon more of my time, shall we
Yeah,
say.
definitely.
Right. So
And also, I would
yeah.
like to know, like, how did your parents actually take the news that you say, like, oh, I don't want to work for somebody else. I want to do my own job. Want to
Ah,
build my own businesses, own my stuff, be my own boss. How did they take it? Because like, my parents, for example, are open a little bit of that part. Just worry because I mean, it's a little bit riskier being your own boss than actually be an
yep.
employer.
Yep.
So how did it take it, your parents? I
My
mean,
my parents were very supportive of it, but I never really sat down and said, look, this is what I want to do. I just kind of started doing it. Right.
Okay.
So it's almost like you don't want to, maybe some people, you hear this story all the time, right? Of young entrepreneurs sitting down their parents and going, I don't want to go and do a work, I don't want to take a job. I don't want to do a career or whatnot. I want to start a business. Maybe just start doing it, right? Slowly start doing it. Don't put a sense of a shock into anybody else, and improve yourself in your actions, not by what you're going to say, because most entrepreneurs initially do fail because they don't know what to expect, is why I think. But I mean, once they learn a few times, they fail a few times, they learn from it, they're going to grow and become better entrepreneurs as they get more mature. So, but I would strongly recommend, my parents, again, getting back to them quickly, were really supportive of me doing what I was doing. But again, I never sat down and said, hey, I'm going to have a landscaping company for the next 10, 15 years. And I'm going to start up this company and this company and company. I didn't know. You just don't know sometimes. You just do what you're doing. Right. So, but I would highly recommend, if anybody is, thinking about doing it, why not do, again, crawl, walk, and run. If you got a job already, start a business, which is called a side hustle nowadays, part-time, right? Just do it on the side and learn from that while you've got your job going, and just grow your business until you get to the point where you can drop your job and carry on with your business and take it to the next level. Take it slowly. It doesn't have to, it's not going to happen overnight. And you have a lot to learn. You got a team to build. There's just so much to go through and to do that you may as well do it while you're doing another job. Don't like sit down the first day of being an entrepreneur and say to your parents, hey, I'm not going to do anything else but do this. It's like, that's high risk,
yeah.
right? Minimize your risk and have it calculated risk as well, right? So get your team going, like, have meetings once a week if you can, learn from your team, grow that way, but do it while you're also doing another job. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But if you got that drive, you gotta fuel it, you gotta feed it, right? So get out there and try it. There's nothing worse than, like, you're 35, 45, 55 years old and you look back and go, gee, you know what? It'd been pretty cool if I actually tried doing something, right? Don't ever do that, ever. You guys, don't ever do that. You guys got some ideas, pursue them. At least try. At least try them, okay?
Okay. I wanted to ask you
Yeah.
about your investments. Do you like being invested in the stock market?
Yeah, I do.
What is your approach like? Do you like individual stocks, ETFs? What is it like?
I like excitement, but I also like, to be a little on the conservative side. So I got to hang on, guys. I'm sorry, but I got to do a couple of shout outs here, and a couple of plugs. There's a
Yeah.
couple of guys that are in our community that I'm following that are just amazing guys. And one of them is this guy, Jose from Rico Suave Investing.
Okay,
He's
I think I follow him.
good. Make sure you do. He's really, really good. And
Yeah.
same with Gen X Dividend
Yeah,
Invest.
yeah, I always comment.
If you want to talk about dividend investing, this guy
Yeah.
knows his stuff. He's great. He's extremely supportive of his whole community. And JMac Investing. JMac is off the charts incredible too. Please follow these three guys. There's also Blood Phantom 81 that I'm also a Patreon of. Those guys, they know their stuff. They're proving that they know their stuff by showing you what they do and how they learned it. And they're really supportive, and they cover all the aspects the way I feel. These four guys really cover the aspects of how I like to invest. There's an exciting side, so I enjoy like JMax, SPACs, and special purpose acquisition corps. They're pretty hot right now, especially in the EV market. But then there's also Gen X that I love, investing for dividends. And then there's the IPOs with Jose at Rico Suave Investing. He knows his stuff big time as well.
Yeah.
And Alex all around covers a vast array of different stocks and companies to invest in. I mean, again, it's all about the teamwork. Follow these guys, jump on their Discords, join their Patreon, and it allows you to learn so much about investing in the markets with a variety. So I like different things. Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody's different, right? Everybody's different, but I like a variety of them. I don't one specifically. But those guys know their stuff, man. Once again, talk about teamwork.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah, I am so excited. I can tell you because the university gave us the possibility to access the Bloomberg terminal
No,
right now that we have that we are in let's say in lockdown.
right.
The Bloomberg terminal is, for those who don't know, is, I don't know, when you look at the news and you see guys with graphs and charts and all that stuff, and professionals, that is the Bloomberg terminal, which
Right.
is a database that costs $24,000 a year.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah, and I have it, and I'm using it, and it's fantastic to do research in the stock market.
Excellent.
Yeah, and
Excellent.
I'm learning so much. So if you guys, and by the way, we're coming up with a video about the
Yeah.
Bloomberg terminal.
Yeah, we're gonna make a lot of videos about the Billionaire Terminal. So make sure to subscribe and check the new
Absolutely. Everybody
videos, turn your
watching, make sure you
notifications on.
So Hub, let's go, go, go.
And guys, yeah, so
Good for you. That's amazing. But look how much time you've probably dedicated already to reading up on all this, right? There's so much information out there.
I when I was 17, I read The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham.
Great.
Yeah.
Good.
And now I study banking and finance, so it's hard, but and sometimes it's a pain in the neck, but it's nice.
No, you know what? That's the smartest thing you can do to start your journey as an entrepreneur, especially because there's such a close knit community, and entrepreneurs are investors, right? I mean, it's with your IP, with your money as well, in companies. I mean, it's the same as an investor. It's the same thing, right? So there's a huge connection, close connection between entrepreneurs and investors that if you can learn all about that as well, it definitely will help you on your journey of being an entrepreneur in the future.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So good move. That's a great move. Honestly, seriously.
And what is your investment style like in the stock market? What how would you say what triggers you to buy or sell something?
A company that I know that I like, that it has got that has got a great future, solid. It's got a great balance sheet. The financial statements look amazing. The P&L looks great. I mean, it's so much that I look at. I mean, and there's so much to invest in, especially now. It's incredible, right? So it's like, what do I feel comfortable with? Do I feel like buying dividends today? Then I'll buy some dividends. Do I feel like buying a SPAC today? Do I want something else, that I want to see some growth, like a distressed company I want to see some future growth from? It just, my style changes. I'm not typical type of investor that I'm one like this in one area.
Okay. You're not just a value investor or a growth investor.
No,
Okay.
everything, anything and everything that's got great opportunity that I enjoy watching grow, obviously, or pay me dividends or have fun with. right? So
Okay. Are you diversified geographically? Are you just in the US or Canada, or are you also in Europe, Asia, and so forth?
no, mostly it's Canada, Canadian, and US.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly like 99.9%. No,
Okay.
probably not 98%.
Okay. Okay.
Changing completely topic. We were talking about how much, I mean, the nice things of YouTube is connecting with people,
Right.
interacting with people. So, how did the idea of your podcast on your channel came up? I mean, why did you want to do these podcasts?
Well, first of all, I started out with my series called Hang Out With. And again, it was just like I love hearing about people and their stories. Everybody's got a story,
Mhm.
right? And I love it. So I thought, well, why not start doing this series called Hang Out With, where I can talk to other investors and other entrepreneurs and hear what their stories are about. I love it. I'm not actually, to be honest, this is one of the rare interviews. Like with you guys right now, this is extremely rare for me to do. I don't like really talking about myself, to be honest.
You're really good anyway.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. But I enjoy more speaking and listening, asking the questions, like what you guys are on, the side that you guys are on. That's where I prefer to be, like with these other people. And then Ryan and I, came up with an idea of like, let's do creator talk. And that is like a bunch of YouTube creators can talk about almost anything. And that's what you guys want, right? So, and it's just, I mean, it's cool. Like you guys reached out to me. I thought that was great, right? So, but it's just, again, it's all about connecting with great-minded people, right? Good people finding other good people.
Yeah.
Definitely. Positive vibes bring positive vibes. All the mindset.
Why be negative? Why be negative when you can be positive, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's so true. You have a choice every morning when you wake up and you get out of bed. What are you going to do? You have a crappy day, or you going to have a great day? It's up to you, right?
Yeah.
Do the best that you can at having a great day. Hey, if you want to have a crappy day, go ahead.
I mean, it's all up to you at the end of the day. I mean,
Absolutely, it's your life, right? It's your life, so have fun. Okay, who's next?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
I got one.
All right.
What did you learn from managing restaurants and so on?
People skills.
What is the business like? Do you have to focus more on people, on product? What is it like? Is
Everything.
digital becoming a bigger part for you? I don't know, being strong on TripAdvisor, on I don't know what other platforms you are on.
Like Open Table, we used Open Table at Mosaic. So guys, that's a really good question. And the restaurant industry, anytime that you guys have got local, especially right now with everything that's going on, if you guys can support your local restaurants and bars and pubs, do it, because it is hard. Like it's not just that it's hard, like it's super long hours. You just have to have so many skill levels. You just cannot be a great manager. You need to oversee your food costs. You need to know your food costs. You need to know how to deal with guests. You need to know how to deal with your staff. You know how to design your place, how to maintain it, how to keep your everything to do with alcohol, like how to create systems, have manuals. When you're involved in the restaurant industry, you need to know so much. So again, I look at those entrepreneurs and go, wow, man, like it's tough. Like I said, I've been involved in 3 of them, my 3 fun assets video. That it's incredible how much you need to know to be involved in the restaurant industry. And then I'd always say this about that too. You can have one of the best running restaurants in the world, and your competition can just walk in one day and take all your ideas without you even knowing it.
Yeah.
And then they just go and open up across the street from you almost, right? It's almost something that one of our accountants said this too. I remember him saying this years ago, that there's nothing classy about the restaurant industry behind the veil, because it's just like, it's a real dog eat dog type industry. It's tough. It's really hard. It's long hours. You need to have tons of different skill sets. and the competition is there all the time, right? And it's challenging. So get out there, support your support any
Yeah,
entrepreneur that's got
definitely,
a restaurant,
definitely.
support them big time because it's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. Like for example, my grandmother, she had a restaurant, and my mom just tell me like crazy story, like how much she worked,
Yeah,
like
there you
20
go.
hours a day, even more. No day offs. In the holidays, was even worse. And it was just like go, 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 go,
All
go,
the
go,
time.
go. Oh,
It's go all the time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's so crazy. Like, I mean, you can see like if you watch Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay screaming at every time, every single minute, like, yo, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, well, hey, that's back of house, man. It's like that sometimes. I've seen it
Yeah,
firsthand. I've seen it. There's the front of the house, back of the house, and it can be extremely stressful and challenging, right? But it's a very, very tough industry, just like you were saying, Mickey. It's go, go, go all the time. It can be 20 hours days, right? And then you got to have great systems implemented that you hire people, and you got to make sure that you're hedging your asset. You got these great systems that nobody's going to steer you wrong, and that the team, you got to get a great team in there also. I mean, and represent you well. They need to know great customer service. I mean, there's so many moving parts to it. It's incredible, right? So
so basically, like, how your restaurant have been affected by COVID.
I'm not part of any restaurants right now. I might get back into it after COVID, only because they're expecting that 65% of them in the Toronto area and the surrounding area here will not make it through, right? Especially into a major lockdown. So, but I've sold out of the three that I mentioned in my fun assets video, not that long ago, or a while ago. But like I said, I might get back into them in the near future. But again, I mean, like you just said, I mean, I'm not even being a partner as well. It depends on how I structure myself as being a partner. I don't want to be involved in it like 10, 15, 20-hour days.
Yeah,
That to me right now is not fun, right?
yeah,
Not
yeah.
at all.
I understand. I understand.
And that's more hands on.
Uh, okay. Also, like, so we have seen that you run multiple business as one, at the same time, and like how much your businesses have been affected with COVID, how it,
Overall, let's say.
Not
yeah,
that
overall,
not
not
that
that
much
much.
hit, not that much of a hit whatsoever. And for one of ours, ETB, I didn't know what to expect. So we put our staff on part time, and they were okay with it. And they're like, "Woohoo, that's great, no worries whatsoever, right? Just keep us on." Was their mentality. Like, we're okay with part time, just don't let us go, sort of thing. So, but no, it was really, so we're considered now essential service, essential business. So we're okay. We're able to stay open for this major lockdown coming in the next 30 days. Did not affect us that much whatsoever. We had a couple of tenants we lost. We lost one in Phoenix with one of our condos there, and then one in Tampa. But that was okay because we got tenants back in the next month. Our property managers are great there, so they found other new people to jump on board. But we did lose a couple of tenants for Mexico, but it's okay because it's all under this one company, our Mappus umbrella. So we're able to cover our carrying costs from our other rentals to cover that place. Not a big deal. But again, they couldn't fly from Canada to go down and stay their usual
Yeah,
time down in Mexico. So a small impact, nothing compared to a lot of, I'm sure a lot of other people are going through,
yeah.
so we're fine.
Like most of the people have been struggling a lot with the
Macro.
lockdowns. A lot. I don't know if you hear that. There's this guy Dave Potty, something like that. I'm not sure about the name. He was trying to do like some GoFund, and like trying to get like
A
over
go
a hundred
page.
thousand. Yeah, over like $100,000 to like help small businesses in the LA area. I don't know if you heard about it.
No, I haven't heard about that. But funny enough, I just got reached out to one of our guys on our Discord, on my Discord, that wants to team up with me and find a business that probably will not make it and support them financially. So we're working on that. That's something that we're probably going to do in the close new year. So if you know of any businesses, or anybody watches knows any businesses that have been crippled from the pandemic, reach out to me on my Discord, especially, or just go through the Send a Big Smile site and reach out to me there and let me know. So we're going to put together, hopefully we can help out some businesses that way. Maybe
Yes,
go.
definitely. Your link is gonna be in the description down below. So
Beautiful.
just subscribe to our Rick channel.
Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much. That'd be great, guys.
Yeah, a little bit, a little plug-in right there,
Thanks.
all the time.
So talking
You guys
about
should do these more often, guys. You should do these more often. You guys are great at this. Good teamwork.
Yeah,
well, it's
we
easy when
Good
you
question.
have someone that knows how to answer like you. You're a great guest.
It's
Yeah,
all I-
definitely.
No. But you guys picked
So-
the right guy because that's all I've done for like, X number of years. So
So talking about the COVID situation, is it if you know the situation here in Italy, would you say is worse here than there in Toronto?
I think so, yeah. In the Canada area, it's getting bad. We got the second wave obviously happening in our province of Ontario. We're at 2,200, I think, new cases today. But I don't think it's anywhere near what you guys. How many cases did you guys have today? Do you know?
13,000.
In the whole country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we probably have two for probably maybe 5,000, maybe six. I'm not quite sure for the country. I've been just watching our province.
But in
Yeah.
Canada.
In Canada, yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
you
that's
guys got-
pretty small. Like that's like a small ratio compared to the overall population of Canada and Italy. I mean, I don't know how much is the population in
How many
Canada.
millions?
35 million for us.
35 million
Yeah.
Oh, really?
only. I thought
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
were
that's
like
not-
much more Canadians. Like,
Yeah,
Ah,
like
that
second
surprised me.
largest landmass too, right? Next to Russia, we're the second largest country landmass wise. But 80% of our population lives within 100 kilometers of the U.S. border, right?
oh,
So
okay. So you have like a lot of like inhabited
yeah,
landscape.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. a lot of us, a lot of north of us, absolutely. So,
what about-
But you, sorry, go.
No, what about like the restrictions? Do your kids go to school or is it online
Yep.
school?
No, no, it's going to be no. They've been at school now since September, October, November, and December. They just finished last Friday. So, but they're going to be off probably for 2 weeks, probably maybe even 3 weeks. They might extend this lockdown depending upon if the numbers drop down, right? So, but are you guys getting the vaccine pretty soon? The
They said
vaccines,
next week or this week.
good.
But I mean,
no,
when
next week they'll have to go through the European Pharmaceutical Authority. This authority has to approve the vaccine and then they'll start distributing.
yeah, but I
Good.
mean, when everyone will get it, it will pass a lot of time, and a lot of time. I mean, it won't pass in 2-3 days. It'll be a very long process.
Yeah,
Well, it's
it's
good to see
probably
that.
gonna take at least like a month, I think. So
Much more.
much
What,
more,
to-
you think?
70
What,
million.
the process to vaccinate everybody? Yeah, that's
No.
going to take a bit of time. But the approval should be happening pretty fast for you guys, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Let's
Hope
just
so,
hope, hope
Yeah.
that it
Yeah.
happens soon, right? So, but there's some good vaccines coming out too, right? And then hopefully AstraZeneca and J&J should be coming out pretty soon. Right now we got the Pfizer and we have the Moderna vaccine.
Yeah.
So it's all looking really promising. It's just everybody wear your masks, be safe, social distance, be good, And,
Definitely respect
give us
the
some
rule.
time.
And how about the vaccine there in your country? Is it there?
Started last week.
Oh.
So we're not actually seeing any return on it yet, but hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll start seeing the numbers slowly diminish. I mean,
Okay.
that's with this lockdown as well. That's the theory. We're going to be locked down on Boxing Day for pretty much a month, for 4 weeks. So hopefully the numbers will slowly start dropping down after that, during that time, near the end of that time, and into early February. Again, hopefully.
Yeah. But how about the death rate? Do you know the numbers about that?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. Again, for the province, I think we had 14 yesterday,
Okay.
something like that for the province. I'm not quite sure what it is for the country. Again, I've been watching the province, is closer than I have been for the country numbers, only because of business and seeing what our clients, or if they're going to be closed down or anything like that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
So, but it's not as bad. I mean, here Europe is pretty tough. I mean, you guys are so densely populated, right? Like everybody's so close.
Yeah.
There, right?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
tough. I mean, and then you guys were saying too, I think it was Mickey, I think it was you kind of saying it, The Italian mentality is like, hey, we just want to go out and have fun, you know? And
Yeah, definitely.
nobody's
Like
gonna stop me. I want to have fun.
Italian,
They don't
Spanish.
listen. They don't listen.
We
No,
just
hey,
like
wow.
we
Oh, we
like
got
go
some,
out, enjoy
yeah,
like people, like touch each other hand.
They have
yeah.
to get a
Have
500 fine to understand. Then
500
maybe.
euros.
Really? A hug's worth a $500 fine? Holy jeez. That's funny. Okay, guys, I gotta start wrapping this one up if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah. We were
yeah,
just
that's
about to
totally
finish.
fine.
Awesome. Holy jeez, went over an hour, almost 15 minutes. It's fantastic. So,
All right, guys. Remember to subscribe, turn your notifications on, subscribe to Rick channels, the
thank
Helpful Entrepreneur, and thank you again for
you.
being with us and sharing with almost more than an hour talking.
Guys, thanks for having me, man. This has been a pleasure. Like the pleasure's been all mine. So honestly, this has
Thank
been
you for you.
fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. You know, maybe
Okay.
after COVID, we'll do one.
Yeah.
All right, definitely. You gotta keep updated.
And don't
All right.
forget, guys, the key's always under the front mat. So come on over to Canada anytime you guys want.
All right. All
Come
right.
over for a visit.
All
Okay.
right, we're
Fine.
surely gonna do it. All right, thank you.
I'll hold you guys to it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.